Hey guys, and I'm sure most of you know about Nintendo Music, their streaming platform for music from the games, and while it is a really cool idea, it's been kind of disappointing in execution for a few ways, just because of the drip feed and a couple little nitpicks that I have with it. I think the app has a lot of potential, but it really needs to be improved, and I think there are multiple ways that they could improve this app, so that's what I wanted to discuss in this video. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of the new Mario Kart game. But why do I even care about Nintendo Music in the first place? Because I know there are other alternatives that they could have done to releasing their music. I mean, one, it's a cool idea. I really like the fact that they have one centralized location for, like, releasing their soundtracks. And another thing is that it's a decent way for Nintendo to make their music widely accessible. It's like a pretty easy way to kind of access it as long as you have Nintendo Switch Online. It's also an ad-free way to listen to Nintendo Music without having to download it. Like, I think it's nice that they did this rather than adding it to Spotify. I mean, I know it would have been nice if they put it on Spotify, but it still would have had ads, and there would have been issues with that. But so having it on an app that's completely ad-free is really nice and really convenient. And finally, these are also high-quality versions of their music as well. I think that's also really good as well. Like, some of the music that have been added are kind of similar to the quality of some of the CD releases of some of their soundtracks. So I really appreciate that, and that's why I care about Nintendo Music and why I think they should go through the effort of improving it. But there are a few ways that they could improve this app. The first one is a better schedule. At the moment, Nintendo Music still feels kind of barren, even after nearly 5 months. And a lot of series are still missing, such as Xenoblade, the Mario RPGs, Mario Sports, Luigi's Mansion, Smash, WarioWare. There's quite a lot of, and then like a lot of major games from major series are missing as well. So it's just kind of disappointing to see like a lack of music here. Like, there really is going to be a very limited selection of tracks that you're actually going to go out of your way to listen to. Because I know for me, I like to listen to some very specific soundtracks a lot of the time. I like to listen to the Thousand Year Door remake, some songs from Brothership, or the other Mario & Luigi games, as well as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. So Nintendo Music doesn't really scratch my itches all the time. Like, there really are only certain times where I'd be interested in listening to certain soundtracks. I feel like a lot of people kind of go through phases where they want to listen to certain soundtracks. Like, there will be certain times where I want to listen to Mario Wonder, and that's when, oh, the Nintendo Music app is actually useful for me for just a little bit. And then I want to listen to something else other than Mario Wonder, and then I'd have to go back to YouTube. It's just kind of unfortunate. I wish everything was here, so I'd actually have the soundtracks that I'm, like, interested in at a specific time, and I just think it would work out better that way. But the way to do that is add more soundtracks frequently so there is a wider selection of soundtracks available. I think a lot of the soundtracks that they're adding each week aren't enough to cover an entire week. Like Super Mario Bros. 2, well, the music is good in that game for an NES game. There's literally only 8 tracks in that soundtrack, and that's just covering the entire week, which is just crazy. That is why they really need to add soundtracks more frequently. Like, I think there's 2 solutions to this. Either add one soundtrack on every weekday, it makes sense why they wouldn't do it on the weekend, but Monday through Friday, they should add, like, a soundtrack. Or they could add 5 soundtracks on Monday night, or technically Tuesday for Japan, but I think, like, having 5 soundtracks per week is a good balance, I would say. Like, I think that kind of even things out a lot to where, like, they wouldn't be adding, like, too many at a time where it's overwhelming, but at the same time, they would be able to cover a lot of series that would otherwise take a long time to be added. So I think this just makes a lot of sense. So I really hope they either upload more frequently, or add more of them in a single week. I just think that's a much better solution to only doing the one soundtrack per week drip feed. Like, for a music streaming service, that really isn't optimal. And yes, I know these are just video game soundtracks, but the thing is, Nintendo has published thousands of games. It will take years for them to add everything, or at least the soundtracks that most people care about. So, I just think that's pretty unfortunate. Like, I don't think people should have to wait, like, a long time for something like Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door to be added. But, yeah. So next up, I think another thing that they should do to improve this app is credit the composers. It's just really unfortunate that Nintendo isn't crediting them in Nintendo Music. Some people argue that it's a thing in Japanese culture for songs or works to be associated with a company rather than a composer, but I just don't think this practice is right regardless. There are multiple Western composers that have songs in this app, like David Wise or Toby Fox, and I think the Japanese composers like Koji Kondo or Totaka, they definitely deserve the recognition as well, and this app is being released worldwide. So this just comes across as disrespectful more than anything. Every composer that has ever worked for Nintendo really deserves the recognition. So I think this is just really unfortunate, and it just kind of just feels like a lack of respect to me, even if it is unintentional. So next up, I think they should have the extension feature available for every song. Nintendo Music has a song extension feature similar to how people upload extended versions of songs from games on YouTube. However, only certain songs are included on this. There are a lot of really weird omissions to this, like Jubilife Village from Pokemon Legends Arceus. I thought that was really weird. And I don't see why they're not, like, adding all of the songs on here. It's just, like, it's really not that hard to incorporate, I would say, just because so many people are doing it on YouTube. So I think they could easily, like, work around this and, like, have most songs with this feature. I know there are certain songs that are like a couple seconds long that technically aren't songs but are on the app anyway. Yeah, they could skip those, but like any song over like 30 seconds long, I think should have the feature to be able to like be extended up to like 30 or 60 minutes. I just think that makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And next up is letting you listen to more faithful versions of sequenced music. Some of the soundtracks on Nintendo Music were originally sequenced rather than being a live recording, and in some of those soundtracks, such as Street Pass Me Plaza or the Wii channels, they've added or changed some of the instruments. Sure, this isn't a huge deal, and everything still sounds good and very listenable, but it technically isn't the exact original version. Some people may want to listen to the music as it originally sounded on the console that it was on, so it would be nice if Nintendo gave us the option to listen to a version with the original instruments, even if it sounded compressed. I just think they should really let you have that option if they are going to change these things. Yes, it is nice that they are like having higher quality versions of some of these sequenced tracks, but at the same time, if they aren't exactly faithful, they should have a more faithful option available. Nintendo probably isn't considering this at all anyway, but it's just kind of something that I would like to see. And finally, I really think there should be a desktop or web app. People don't just listen to music on their phones, so it would be nice to be able to listen to music on PC, like especially like for people who are working on stuff on PC, to have that little app available to just listen to the music at any time. It's just kind of annoying, like to connect like wireless headphones to my phone while I'm also trying to do stuff on PC. I know that's just a very small nitpick, but it would just be so much more convenient if there was also an app on PC as well. And while we're at it, let us listen to music on the Switch itself. Yeah, I know that's kind of unnecessary, but since this is an NSO benefit, why not let us access it on the console itself. It just would be a nice feature, like especially for like kids listening to like music and stuff. That would be like nice for them, and just like having like a little way to like listen to music just on another device. I just think that would be nice, like to have it on Switch as well. But yeah, anyways, those are some of the ways that I would improve Nintendo Music. Nintendo Music is very flawed, but at the same time, it has a lot of potential too. And these are just some of the ways that I want to see it improved. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!